Time no longer. Chapter 14. God. What is God? More importantly, who is God? Who is the God of the Bible? What is the Bible talking about when it talks about God? There are two basic views known in the world as to the existence of gods or God. One view is that of the atheists, that there is no such being as a God, or God, if you will. Their belief is that things just happen randomly. Their contention is that there is no controlling power in the universe. Things just take place without any control. An extension of this is the more popular theory that the creation of this planet and other worlds just happened. The Big Bang theory is gaining more popularity in the scientific world. A big explosion created the perfect harmony out of chaos. This world came from an explosion of matter with great density and small volume, and other worlds just happened. Everything is now in an evolving process. Interestingly, this evolutionary theory has come to light only in the last 2 centuries. This theory has been only in existence for less than 5% of this Earth's known history. Yet practically the whole world has embraced it with open arms. The belief is that no being or God orchestrated the creation of this planet or its inhabitants or anything else on this Earth or the universe. They theorize that everything came from nothing or some blot of material or some small atom. Then this little blot exploded or by some other means evolved into the planet and universe we observe today. From the little atom or blot we now live in a perfectly organized world with atoms, cells, and intelligent life. No matter that it is slowly being destroyed by its inhabitants, it's still an amazing world. The form, function, and natural laws continue to amaze even the most hardened skeptics. The majority believe in the theory of evolution in these United States, yet most are not atheists. However, it is apparent that the idea of evolution and that of atheism are inseparable. There is action all around us, but no control. The plane is in the air, there is no pilot, yet it keeps flying a perfect course. It's following its flight plan to the letter. This, as we humans know, is an impossibility, yet there is widespread belief that our planet is flying the perfect course without a pilot. This theory goes against the grain of everything that happens in the human experience. We need the pilot, we need a captain, we need that general, we need that president to lead us and protect us. How much more, then, do we need the God of the universe to watch over us and protect us? God has also assigned guardian angels to watch over us. There are countless instances in history testifying to the existence and power of angels. Some of them probably don't relish the assignments they are given, but like their Creator, they love us with every fiber of their being. The evidence against evolution and atheism is astounding and insurmountable. Yet it is widely accepted. The classic cover of Time magazine proclaiming God is dead is by far the most famous magazine cover of all time. Yet the very fact of the existence of one atom or molecule, the exactness of its motion and its interaction or coexistence with other atoms or molecules is proof enough. There is form, there is function, and there is precision and energy. All this simply had to come from something. It did not come from nothing. Take an empty bread pan to represent the space occupied by this earth. Without putting anything in this pan, how can yeast suddenly appear in it from nothing, and then, with no added ingredients, become dough, then rise, and with no external source of energy, become a warm loaf of bread ready to be eaten? I respectfully submit, ladies and gentlemen, that this can never happen. Likewise, this world must have an origin. It cannot have come from nothing. Some being created it. God created it. There is no other way. Well, you counter, where did this God come from? What being created all this? He had to come from somewhere. Who or what created him? To understand this, we go to the chicken and the egg story. What came first? The answer is neither. They always existed. God has always existed. God is. He states in the Bible, I am. He's not controlled by time or space. Time is not a dimension to God. God is not the chicken or the egg. He is both. He is the perpetual motion machine, the driving force and the energy source for every single atom in all the universe. Man can only understand bits and pieces of this puzzle. He is limited by the capabilities of his own mind. God gives man more and more information, yet man thinks it's all his own doing. When will man grasp the true picture? John tells us that only in heaven, when we will be all changed in the twinkling of an eye, will we be able to fully grasp the concept of God. Albert Einstein's theory that the universe is round is correct. There is no end to a circle. There is no end to the universe. The universe, like God, is. Our human mind, with its finite capacity, has difficulty grasping these concepts, but God, through John and other great minds such as Einstein's, points us in his direction. These facts, when presented to our human mind, can be understood. In fact, they cannot objectively be misunderstood. The Bible was written for man to help even the most limited of minds and understand God and his eternal existence. But even without this guidebook for life, all one has to do is observe nature. Its constant function of power, precision, and beauty are a reflection off the face of God. We now return to our original question, what is God? By definition, a God is a being that is in control of others. They may have subjects or other types of subordinates, but a God exercises some type of control over something. By definition, then, we have proof of existence of a controlling God or being or power. We as human beings do not have full control of this planet. We may think we do, or that things just happened, but all we have to experience is one violent earthquake or tornado or hurricane, and it becomes crystal clear that there is a more powerful force than humanity exercising some force of control in this world. Returning to our basic premise, if there is a force or a God that exercises some control over us, who or what is it? We must weigh all the evidence and draw the correct conclusion or decision. Certainly, this is the greatest trial of the ages. I challenge anyone to examine the facts in this case and come up with any other verdict than that there is one God. He is our Creator, Sustainer, and is filled with love for us. Look at this case from every angle. Because someone other than ourselves is in control, there has to be a God. Our very existence depends on Him. Therefore, He has to be our Creator. Witness not only God's Word, God's Spirit, but nature. All attest to His existence, His omnipotent power, and His love. Truly, the heavens declare the glory of God. But for those still in doubt, there is further strong evidence. By definition, again, a God is someone or something in control of other things or beings. There is clear evidence all around us that we are not in control of this planet. There are forces stronger than we that exist on this planet. Therefore, there has to be a God doing this controlling. Hence, there has to be a God. Otherwise, there is no reason for our existence. It is here that atheism must exit. If we exist and are under some control, there has to be a God. If yet you remain a doubting Thomas, we now call on the final key witness. In this world there is an undeniable evidence of an evil force, a force trying to destroy humanity. All we have to do is look at the hunger, the war, and the abuse of humanity to know that there is an evil force working to destroy the world and its inhabitants. A battered child is no illusion. It's a tragic evil. It is also positive evidence that an evil force exists in the universe. What reason is there to batter a precious child? What motive could possibly exist to even think of such a heinous crime, much less carry it out? The answer is so very obvious. Some other force or God or devil wants to take control. This other force wants to take control. He, by definition, has to be attempting to take over control from another. There must therefore be another in control. There is evil, there must also be good. The devil is a hostile respondent in this trial of the ages. He is the most ruthless and evil of all beings, is the key figure in a trial that he is losing as we speak. By his very existence he will go down to defeat. However, he is a very convincing personality and has convinced a tremendous number of human beings that he is right. and the God he is trying to take control from is wrong. He, in fact, was able to convince 1/3 of all the angels that his way was right. We estimate the total population of humans that has existed on this earth as 20 billion human beings, and assume that each has had at least one guardian angel. The number of angels would have to be at least that many. Therefore, Satan has convinced at least 7 billion angels, being with far more intelligence than we can ever hope to have, to follow his methods. That, my friend, is a staggering total. Satan, who is a proponent of child abuse and so many other crimes, convinced 7 billion beings to side with him on the issue. This is one of the most appalling thoughts that can cross one's mind. If these beautiful, intelligent, heavenly beings who had everything anyone could desire couldn't stand up to Lucifer, how can we, as weak little human beings, withstand his onslaught? The answer is simple: we can't. Only Jesus Christ, our Redeemer, had any chance against so focused an individual. Fortunately for humanity, the true evidence, will expose the devil for what he is, the vilest criminal in all history. His deeds will irrefutably prove he is guilty of treason against God, against the universe, and against all humanity. No one can or even will question his guilt once all the witnesses have been heard. In fact, to a man, they will believe that his sentence is far too lenient, and no one will question God as the rightful ruler of all the universe. The praise we will have for our Creator will be overwhelming and unending. We will be so grateful for our deliverance from sin that we will never be able to cease praising the Almighty. When we have the undeserved but wonderful privilege of shaking both nail-scarred hands, no words will be able to express the feeling. It is also of great interest that in John's vision of the angels who carried God's message from heaven to earth were very touchy and worshiping only God. Revelation 19:10 speaks of John falling to the ground to worship a very powerful angel. The angel immediately rebuked John, stating, "See thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Jesus. Worship God, for the testimony of Jesus is the spirit of prophecy." No doubt this angel, along with countless others, possibly 14 billion, remembered very well the scars left in heaven from the war with Lucifer. It was indelibly etched in the mind of this angel, as it must be in ours. The devil does not want to take the stand in this trial of the ages, but the defense will most assuredly call him as their hostile key witness. He will no doubt plead the Fifth Amendment. He wants to be the star witness for the plaintiff, but known history of his deeds will betray him. As focused and self-composed an individual as Lucifer is, the courtroom crowd will detect a very slight but discernible tremor in his hands. Despite his proud attitude, he knows the jig is up. His very existence, along with his subversive activities, prove beyond any reasonable doubt that he is a traitor, guilty as charged. His methods have completely backfired on him. He tried to prove for 6,000 years that God, his creator, was wrong. Instead, he only confirmed his own terrible guilt and reaffirmed God as the way, the truth, and the life. When we view the videotapes of world history on the wide screens of heaven, we will be able to see every crime, every atrocity, every evil action of humanity. We will see in heavenly technicolor and sense around 3D sound just what took place for those 6,000 years. It will be the multimedia event of the ages, the ultimate time machine. It will demonstrate a living color to every eye that there is only one true and just God. And I guarantee you that as you sit and view all of this sin and evil, you will be a far harsher judge than God. We will not wonder why God was so cruel a judge, but we will ask one another, how could he be so lenient? God will prove beyond any reasonable doubt, beyond any doubt of any kind, that he is rightfully the God of the universe.